I never thought I'd be here, sharing something so personal, so life-changing, with anyone, let alone the world. But after what happened to me, I feel like I don't have a choice. This isn't just my story. It's a message, one that I believe I was brought back to deliver. It's not easy to put into words what I've experienced, but if it can touch even one life, then it's worth it. Let me start from the beginning. My name is Sarah, and by all accounts, I lived a pretty normal life. I grew up in a small town where the church was the heart of the community. My parents were devout Christians who instilled in me the teachings of Jesus from the very beginning. I was the youngest of 3 siblings, and our family life was simple but full of love and faith. I remember sitting on the pews every Sunday, listening to the pastor's sermons while my mom held my hand. She'd always tell me, "Jesus is watching over you, Sarah. No matter what happens, he'll never leave your side." Those words were my anchor growing up, even as I faced the ups and downs of life. As a teenager, though, things changed. Like many young people, I started to question everything, including my faith. I was drawn to the world and its distractions, and slowly, I began to drift away from the teachings I had once held so dear. I still believed in God, but he felt distant, like a faint echo in the background of my life. By the time I reached adulthood, I had settled into a routine. I got married, had 2 beautiful children, and worked hard to provide for my family. Life was busy and, in many ways, fulfilling. But deep down, there was a sense of emptiness I couldn't quite explain. I thought I had everything I needed, but something was missing. And then, one ordinary day, everything changed. It started like any other day. I was at home, going through my usual routine when I suddenly felt an intense pain in my chest. It was unlike anything I had ever experienced before. My husband rushed me to the hospital, but by the time we arrived, I was barely conscious. The doctors worked frantically, but at some point I flatlined. I don't know how long I was gone, but in those moments I experienced something that has forever altered the way I see the world. The first thing I remember was the feeling of being pulled out of my body. I could see everything around me, the doctors working, my husband crying, but I felt strangely at peace. There was no pain, no fear, just a profound sense of calm. Then, I was surrounded by a brilliant light, so bright and pure that it felt like love itself. In that light, I saw him. Jesus. He stood before me, his presence radiating warmth and compassion. I had always imagined what it would be like to meet him, but nothing could have prepared me for the overwhelming love I felt in that moment. He looked at me with eyes that seemed to see right through me, into the deepest parts of my soul. And then he spoke. "Sarah," he said, "there's something you need to know." He began to show me visions, moments from my own life, both the good and the bad. I saw the times I had chosen selfishness over kindness, fear over faith, and apathy over love. It wasn't condemnation, it was clarity, a chance to understand the impact of my choices. Then the visions shifted. I saw the world, not just as it is, but as it could be. I saw the beauty of humanity's potential, but also the darkness that threatens to consume it. And then, he showed me something that shook me to my core: the year 2025. 2025 will be a year of great change, he said, a time of awakening and reckoning. I saw images of natural disasters, political turmoil, and people struggling to make sense of the chaos. But amidst the darkness, I also saw glimmers of hope, people turning back to faith, communities coming together, and a renewed hunger for truth and love. "Sarah," he said, "this is not a punishment. It is a call to return, to remember who you are and who I created you to be." His words filled me with both hope and urgency. I realized that the future wasn't set in stone. It was shaped by the choices we make today. Then, he looked at me with such tenderness and said, "Your time here is not yet done. You have a purpose to fulfill." And just like that, I was back. I opened my eyes to the sound of the machines beeping and the sight of my husband holding my hand. I had returned to my body, but I wasn't the same. Since that day, I've felt an overwhelming need to share this experience. I know it's not easy to believe, and some people might dismiss it as a dream or a hallucination. But I know what I saw. I know what I felt. The message I received wasn't one of fear. It was one of hope, faith, and love. Jesus wasn't warning me about 2025 to scare me, but to prepare me, to remind me of the importance of faith and the choices we make every day. As 2025 approaches, I feel an urgency to share this message with as many people as possible. It's a reminder that no matter how dark the world may seem, there is always light. We are not alone, and we are never beyond redemption. This experience has changed me in ways I can't fully explain. I've let go of fear and doubt, and I've embraced a deeper connection to my faith. I'm not perfect, far from it, but I'm trying to live each day with purpose and love, just as He asked me to. If there's one thing I hope people take away from my story, it's this. We have the power to shape our future, but it starts with our hearts. It starts with faith, love, and the courage to make choices that reflect who we truly are. So here I am, sharing my story with the hope that it will inspire others to reflect on their own lives and their own faith. Because in the end, the message isn't just for me, it's for all of us.